Hey guys, we're back this time together. We're going to be talking about a few of the experiences we've had on shoot, some of the good experiences, some funny, maybe not so good.
Together, I think we've worked on at least 50 projects in the film industry over a wide range of genres and spent definitely more time on set sitting around and complaining than actually doing any work. So you will hear about all of it. A couple of main ones would have definitely been Vikram Vedha, the film. It would have been HRX, the band and the clothing. But also I think definitely most fun would have been the TV Netflix show Ultimate Beastmaster, which was an obstacle course show very much similar to American Ninja Warrior.
This was basically shot in LA. And we got the casting call just with a random set of physical tests, essentially. And of course, we just send it in because we're not sure you're going to get in or not. But turns out it wasn't that hard.
I received an email from this producer from Los Angeles. Thought immediately it's spam, it's bunk, somebody's trying to scam me. But they wanted to get on a call. And they slowly started describing more about it. Immediately they started talking about Sylvester Stallone being the producer, and I'm like, this is a scam for sure. But then once we got on a call with them, suddenly it seemed very legit, and I checked with a few of my friends in the country to make sure that they were real, and they were. Netflix wanted to make its own version of the highly successful network TV show American Ninja Warrior, which is where there is an obstacle course. And each person tries their best to complete the obstacle course and go as far as they can without falling off and into the water.
Not really expecting to get selected. I'd just started working as a doctor maybe 3 months ago. And then immediately we get the news that, oh, we're going to LA in like a month. And very awkward email that I had to write to them that I will now be resigning within 4 months of starting my job. Not regretting it. I think that was one of the best decisions I've ever made. But definitely weird.
The experience once we got there was phenomenal because the way the show was structured, they had brought about 15 athletes from 5 or 6 different countries.
5 different countries.
We got to travel from India to the US with a cast of some of our friends who were very talented and successful parkour athletes and coaches, and some TV influencers who thought they would be really good at this. You will see what they ended up looking like. Because they wanted the lighting to remain consistent, we would shoot from 10 p.m. to about 3 to 4 a.m. every day, and then sleep a bit during the day and then come back the next night. To make matters better, this was LA in the winter and out in the forest, so the average temperature was about 8 to 12 degrees. If that wasn't good enough, there was also heavy wind chill. And the thing that made it the best, rounded it all out, is when you fell off the course, you went straight into this body of water that was also at that temperature. So I think you had a great incentive to stay out of it as much as you could.
Oh, and the genius part is, as soon as you fall into the water, you swim back out. Now you're standing there wet and cold in the wind, and that's when they ask you the questions. So either you shiver, or you answer the question without a stutter.
The nice thing about international shoots is that catering is banger. The food was really, really, really good.
Novel experience of having a full meal and then going immediately into the obstacle course. I would recommend it to everybody.
Yeah, you never knew when you were on, and the buffet was open all night. So you just keep eating till you're called. Then you're like, okay, it's go time. You try your best. And all of us made it to round 3 out of 4, which I think was a decent achievement.
Considering we'd never been on an obstacle course that moves so much.
We got to meet some really cool parkour stars from all around the world who had been selected from their countries, a lot of famous rock climbers, and even some other film and TV personalities from around the world who came to be commentators for their own countries. The best part about it was also that set us up with US visas for a very long time, and we both continued in the country traveling around to various other parkour centers, and that opened up a lot of doors through that one shoot. I think of the projects that we did together, the one that we had the highest hopes for but that ended up the least interesting was for a year-fourth unnamed soy chocolate milk beverage.
Which we might clip into the video, so you'll figure it out.
We'll try to avoid it.
Yeah, boy.
The reason we had really high hopes for this project was again because it started out with a really dream premise, which is you get to choreograph a parkour sequence inside Mumbai International Airport.
Yeah.
Now, as soon as they told us that, we were sold and we didn't ask too many questions. That was mistake number one. The fun part about this project was me, Rishi and Krishna all actually worked together to combine parkour and dance with really cool performers, John Abraham and some woman.
Some woman, Disha Patani.
Disha Patani.
Don't hire him again.
We had an incredible excitement for designing a sequence through areas that we would walk through and dream of jumping on, and that was the premise.
Without getting arrested.
Yeah.
We spent days choreographing it, having the body doubles come to the academy and Krishna running them through the dance sequences, us running them through the parkour sequences, envisioning what we were going to shoot at the airport. On the day of the shoot, it turned out that the time management was absolutely non-existent. They didn't envision how much time it would take to get the staff and stuff inside the airport because obviously security concerns. We ended up with half the time to shoot the entire sequence, and that necessitated that we slim it down to mainly only the dance sequences with one jump.
The storyline was as you imagine, our gate changed at the last minute and we need to do parkour to get there.
But while we do parkour, we want to dance as well.
Sometimes you get ideas that you're stuck with and you have to play with them. So we said, okay, let's try to make the best of it. The best of it ended up being an ad that while we shot a lot of cool stuff, what you see in the final product is nothing that we were looking forward to. Mostly the basic, oh, I forgot. Oh, this is the gate change. Oh, I did one jump. Oh, I reached. That's definitely a mood killer when you put a lot of time and effort into a project and it ends up being in the edit. Important disclaimer if you're going to work in the film industry.
Get shit in writing.
Yeah. Like have a proper contract.
And if it's a small shoot and you can't have a proper contract, just get it on mail or somewhere where it's written everything. Even if you think it's a stupid question, just put it across on message and ask them to reply to it, so you have a record of what you've discussed, even if it is just to avoid miscommunication.
Yeah, even as what time you get there, who's gonna go bald, what the amount obviously is that they're gonna pay you. So a lot of times we just had to write off things as losses and carry on. So definitely something to be aware of.
So if you're looking at making a career in the film industry as a parkour athlete, there are a few ways to go about it. One is you work as a freelancer on projects that you like and you have an income source that is not the film industry because it's not the most stable of income sources. The other way is you join with a action team and you basically work as a stunt double. The problem with that is you'll have to join the union. Your pay is capped at a certain amount, but you will also not be paid less than that. You'll also have to work on projects that you may not want to work on, but it'll be regular.
The other one that is a lot harder to crack into is as what I would call a parkour model. Now, in a lot of films and TV ads, they are looking actually not for a parkour athlete, but really a model that does some parkour. So if you fit their criteria for the model they are looking for and can do some degree of parkour, that's a really good option because it enables you to take the roles that other models can't take.
One thing that may help, that complexion matters. So if you're white, learn some parkour and you'll get a lot of shoots.
If you fit the visual profile that they are looking for in the shoot, and you have the skills that they're looking for, you're far more likely to get selected than if you have the absolute maximum talent around the country. They're looking for what they want to do to get that shoot done. And clients often have unrealistic demands of foreign looking Indian people, upmarket, downtown, the list of words goes on.
The description of the look required is often very amusing.
Milky complexion.
Yeah. Wheatish.
Wheatish, yeah, that's another
that's a
good
new
one.
one. Yeah.
This is definitely something that has an effect in the parkour model scheme, not so much if you're a stunt double.
Rich looking.
Rich looking, that's
How do you
another
look
one.
rich?
Yeah.
Nobody knows, but
One other factor that tremendously helps is if you are of the same size and shape or build as a famous action star. So a lot of action stars are famously tall towards the 6 foot category and quite bulky in the upper body. Very few parkour athletes match that description. So if you are a stunt performer that really shapes the build, facial, body and hair structure well, your chances of being selected for roles dramatically increases.
so the two things that will dramatically get you selected for shoots is something that you cannot change: your complexion and your height. Good luck.
So over the years, we've received a bunch of pretty eyebrow-raising requests from producers, directors, and clients.
So we've had a couple of shoots. I mean, obviously the most common ones are, can we dress you up in the most silly of costumes and then ask you to perform, high-flying stunts?
The strangest ones for me were one where they wanted me to change shoes mid-jump. I tried to explain to them that gravity gives you only so much time in the air. It's not advisable to land with your shoes in your hand. Other requests which frequently come are strangely puffy, large jackets. Apparently very fashionable when you're standing around and twirling. A bit like a Michelin man if you're trying to do parkour.
On the plus side, if you fall, you don't get hurt. One more was for this fascination with trying to do it in weird footwear. I've had one shoot where I was given leather chappals and asked to jump rooftops in the rain. And while doing that, on this moss-covered wall where I had to step off, he wanted me to do it slower, which gravity doesn't allow you to do that. Friction or lack of it doesn't allow you to do that. And I don't think common sense allows you to do that either. But to keep the chappals on during the jump, I basically asked them to get me Dynaplast, which is the skin color tape, and I just taped it to my foot. At least those don't come off then.
One where the director wanted this effect where my shoes changed as I was stepping and jumping, which means they had to shoot the exact same shot in space and change about one shoe per frame, so about 60 shoes in 2 seconds. I will tell you, this was the single most boring shoot I've ever been on, because I spent exactly 30 minutes doing parkour and 11 hours changing shoes.
Another one that is quite strange is their almost disbelief that all rooftops can be jumped on. And this you'll see most commonly when they take you to like areas that are more slums and go, can you jump on that? It's like, that's tarpaulin. Basically a plastic sheet. I jump, I go straight through.
What do you do if you're in this scenario where you get a dumbass question? I think the philosophy that I try to follow is see if there is any reasonable possibility that it can be done, because productions themselves are working with some constraints where they have dumbass clients behind them who are asking them these stupid questions and they're obligated to ask you. But I think it's also important to just put your foot down sometimes and say no. And I'll give you the magic words, okay? You have to say, no, this is a health and safety hazard. Once you've said those words, they are now legally obligated to take you seriously Otherwise, they can be at fault for negligence. So if you say, I can't do it, it's your fault. But if you say, oh, it's a health and safety hazard, it's their fault now. So remember these words and practice them for when you need to say no to stupid ideas.
How much an athlete can be expected to be paid on a shoot actually depends on, one, your skill, two, your look, but most importantly, what you can ask for or what you have the balls to ask for, right? Let's put it that way. If you say 10, they'll pay you 8. But if you say 1 lakh, they'll probably pay you 60 to 70.
There are obviously ranges to this. And it depends on whether you work as, again, a stunt performer or the star of the show. It also depends how much experience you have and the value you command, the budget of the project, the mood of the production at the time, and a lot of other factors. My advice to people getting in is work as much as you can, as well as you can, for it's okay, as little as you can, till you build up a body of work that shows that you are unique, valuable, and an asset that other people can use. Something that helped me a lot was leveraging the products I'd done in the past and working off of the goodwill that you create with the productions that you work with. So my key advice would be, don't rush it. Build up a good body of work first. And if that body of work really speaks for itself, your work will become a lot easier. Your range could be from single-digit thousands to lakhs per day. Again, depending entirely on the project, who you are, what you've done. And so unfortunately, there's no specific answer for what is the amount you should charge. It'll also depend on when you're watching this video. And what the prevailing market rates are at the time. My general advice would still be work for whatever they're willing to pay you at the start till you have a differentiating and unique factor. Because if there are other people who can do what you can do and are willing to do it for less, you will not get any work. Thanks everybody, hope you got some interesting information and found out something more. Our aim is to help a lot of parkour athletes who aspire to understand more about how this process goes, and a lot of them who reach out to us individually, we share this information, but now we'd like to share it with you all as a group.
Yeah, I'm supposed to say something here? Thank you guys. Do like, share and subscribe. Send it to someone who could find this useful, or just watch it a bunch of times yourself. See you guys.
Okay. He loves taking our walkouts. So, is my leg in frame?
Keep it in frame. Yeah, I just fucking taped it.